Hi, Annie. Welcome to MovieJunk. How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
We have actress, writer, producer, director Annie Briggs joining us today for the fans of the Chucky series. You play Miss Fairchild. Yeah, I'm not just saying this because we have you on today. You instantly became one of my favorite characters. Just with a few seconds I saw you, I was like, man, I love this character already. Can't thank you enough for joining today, Annie.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Thanks for reaching out.
And if I'm not mistaken, I just saw an announcement, that the premiere, across Sci-Fi and USA, there was over 4.5 million views, and also with on YouTube, well over 3 million views. You guys are killing it.
Yeah, it's doing really well. I think everyone on the team is super pleased and very excited.
Now, were you a fan of the Chucky series prior to joining the show?
Okay, so as a wee child of the 80s, very familiar with the Chucky franchise, especially as a redhead. But like that film traumatized me when I was young. And so I couldn't watch the movies for a while. I think I was able to rejoin around the time Bride of Chucky came out, right? And then, but still, such a scaredy cat, and I'm still a scaredy cat with horror. So yes, dip my toe in gingerly, but cautiously, let's say.
Did you have a favorite Chucky movie? I know you mentioned you kind of came back and during Bride of Chucky, but did you have a favorite Chucky movie growing up?
Well, I mean, I think the original, because it's the original for sure, but I would say Bride.
Awesome. And how did you first, learn about the show? Was it just kind of like everyone else? There was an announcement, or how did you first find out that there was even going to be a Chucky series?
In true actor fashion, I got the audition basically, and these, when we're sent sort of more high profile projects, they're often under code titles, and we shoot under those titles as well. So it was a little unclear to me, even off the top, what it was. And then, then when I got the script, I was like, oh, okay, I see. And even at that point, I didn't realize that, Don was even attached to the project. And so when I found that out, I was even more excited to, get the opportunity to work with him. So, yeah.
And so did you know going in that this role was going to be of a teacher, or kind of how does that process work? Was it just an audition for a specific role, or did you know going in it was going to be a teacher?
Yeah, it was definitely specific. I read quite literally one of the scenes. I think one of the scenes I auditioned with was the scene where I set Lexy down.
Yeah.
In episode 1.
Yeah.
And there was another scene as well that comes later in this series. But they were auditioning men and women for the role. So they really didn't know sort of what direction they wanted to go in. And so I just, gave it my take.
You mentioned Don Mancini. Obviously, he's been at the helm since the very first Child's Play. So he actually directed the pilot episode. So what was it like, working under Don Mancini, the legend?
Dude, that gentleman, true gentleman, he's honestly, and I'm here in Canada. Okay. I do a lot of Canadian TV too. He's one of the nicest people I've met in show business, period. He is such a warm, sweet energy. He's he's just a very gentle person, but knows what he wants, is clear, works efficiently. He's really a gem to work with. And, a lot of my scenes were shot with minors. And I think, keeping a good vibe and good energy on set is really important when you're working with young people. I mean, anyone, but especially young people, want to protect those little hearts and brains. And he was just such a gem. I was so thrilled whenever he'd be around on set. I was I just want to talk to you. And yeah, he had time for everyone. That's a rare quality in showbiz. He just has time for people. It's nice.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I watch interviews, with Jennifer Tilly, Alex Vincent, and everyone just says everything just, wonderful about Don. He's such a relatable person. As far as his directing style, I mean, because your character, I mean, you got some really, really funny lines. Does he allow for any ad-libbing? Is he one of those guys to where whatever's written on the page, you have to stick to it? Or are you allowed to bring in some artistic liberties?
We stuck to what was on the page, but I did notice, and I mean, it's television, so we move quickly. He does like to, when he knows that he's gotten the scene, he'll give you an actor's take. Like, oh, do you want to do anything? He'll offer that, which I really appreciate, because you certainly don't always get that.
And I mean, definitely stating the obvious, the hair color, orange. There's a lot of speculation about kind of what goes behind, your character and some potential Easter eggs. Any non-spoilers that you can address to the fans regarding the orange hair color, or is just total coincidence?
Mum's the word. I will say that Chucky on set has more hairstylists and attention to his hair than I do. So we were fighting for attention on that one. Also finding little red hairs around set was always is this Chucky or is this Annie's hair shedding?
Yeah. No,
but no, I can't give any spoilers.
No, absolutely. And yeah, because in the Chucky film where Andy is actually, I think they called it Chucky, where Andy was on a date with a girl and she had orange hair, and there was a lot of speculation to kind of what her role is, and good Easter egg. So when I saw another character with the same color, I'm just like, man, something's going to happen. I don't think Don Mancini planted this without anything exciting.
Maybe.
One of the amazing scenes, and again, that pilot was phenomenal. I mean, it was amazing. One of the amazing sequences was during that talent show, right? And you got with Chucky, sitting there and just kind of addressing the entire audience. What was it like shooting that scene? I mean, that scene was, on top of it being scary, it was hilarious as well too.
Yeah, it was really funny. We shot in it. I mean, it was very exciting as a performer just to be back in an auditorium, after a year under lockdown. We were all sort of like, oh my God, this is amazing. Remember the good old days of live performance? But to be honest, I shot, what you see. I was involved in such a minimal part of those days shooting, because you only catch me on a certain amount of coverage. But particularly Alyvia and Zackary, even Bjorgvin, all those guys, I just thought killed it. It was phenomenal. And just the styling, it's an amazing little nugget, little scene. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the scene just broke all the rules. I mean, Chucky's always supposed to be kind of a secret. The parents don't really see him until it's too late. So for him to address everybody, when I saw that in the initial commercials, I was like, how is this going to happen? And everyone's going to just go back to normal. But it was done so smoothly, and it was so funny. And that scene where he does that little peek with the scary face.
Yeah. Man,
that was spooky.
Yeah, it's funny, so we're what, 1 week behind here in Canada in terms of airing. So my friends, a couple of my pals came over last weekend and we watched the first 2 episodes on our big projector, which was a lot of fun. But that scene in particular, 2 of my friends were like, wait, they thought it was a dream sequence or something.
Yeah.
They were like, this can't be it. How are they gonna, come out of it? It was very, very smart on Don's part.
Now, I read somewhere that there was actually, this is during filming, there was a kill wall where someone, whenever they got killed, there was an actual kill wall up there. Is that just a rumor? Or was there any truth to that?
Oh yeah, no, there was truth to that. That was in the hair, was it hair? No, makeup. It was in the makeup trailer. And I don't know who started it, because I kind of popped in and out. I wasn't in so frequently, but yeah, every time I came back, it was added to.
And I'm sure, and obviously, you might have to, and if you can't answer this, totally understand, but did you get a chance to work with Braddorf at all? Or get to meet Braddorf?
Well, I'll tell you this. I can't answer that because I think, that might hint one way or the other, but I was so, just as we went along, getting to know who from the originals were coming back was so exciting. And so just like working on a set with Braddorf, I was like beside myself. I'm a huge Deadwood fan.
Yeah.
I love that man.
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend, and it's one of those things that's exciting when it's a voice character, because obviously, like guys like Robert Englund who play Freddy Krueger, that role is very demanding, and as you get older, you can't sit there and do those fight action scenes. But with Chucky, it's a voice character, so he does have a little bit more liberties, which means we hopefully can get Chucky for many years to come.
Totally.
So yeah. So what, I mean, and maybe again, if you didn't get a chance to, you can't go into these specific scenes, but what's it like for the actors interacting with the doll? I mean, is it just the puppeteers kind of working together, or are they actually hearing dialogue? Or is that all done post-production?
So the dialogue when we're shooting the scene will be delivered by typically like an AD of sorts. And then, to be honest, I found the puppeteers like so... I mean, it depends what doll we're working with, because there's a few, and they do different things, right? Depending on physically like what is required. But yeah, the puppeteers kind of like, I thought it would be more distracting, but the doll is like, the doll is its own thing. You're definitely like, I felt like I was working with Chucky, plus he's very high maintenance. Like I said, his hair.
Yeah.
And his clothes, like getting him looking all,
How many dolls are typically on set? Are there? You mentioned there's a few. Is there a handful of them, or?
I think the collection is rather large. And then on any given scene with Chucky, they could be swapping out 2 or 3 dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know, Child's Play 2 is regarded as one of the best, Chucky films, in the franchise, and Don was kind of, channeling, the looks of this Chucky based on Child's Play 2, and when I first saw your character, I instantly got, feels for, I believe her name was Miss Catawell or Miss Attawell. She was the teacher from the second one, so
the glasses.
Yeah. So, and especially when you put Chucky in the locker, I was like, man, this guy's gonna break. I think it was like an air, thing for the basketballs that he stabbed her with. I was hoping that wasn't gonna happen to you. Now, are you excited or welcoming a kill from Chucky, or do you wanna last a few seasons before that happens?
Well, who knows? Maybe who knows what I've endured as Miss Fairchild, but I'll tell you this: reading the scripts, I'd be like shrieking in my kitchen. My partner, I was like, I can't believe they're like putting this on Showtime. Like, I can't believe this is, it's like pretty gruesome kills, but very like so smart, so unique. Like that first kill.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, so inventive, I think.
And this last episode was like, I was just like, man, there's no filter on this show. Like it's a show that you'd see on like HBO or Showtime, and USA and Sci-Fi is just killing it, with, because I know it's on a later time, so there's different rules you can have. So I'm just excited as any of the movies. This show is on par with some of the classic films.
Yeah. No, that's great to hear. But yeah, they have taken it to another level. And of course, like doing TV as opposed to a film, you get to explore a character in a completely different way. But, even like reading the scripts, like I said, all the time I was like, is this, and my partner too was like, is this for kids or is this adults? Like, this seems way too crazy to be for kids. I was like, I don't think it's for kids, but.
I know for myself, one of the fears that I had, just from reading the plot, was, this is involving teenagers. And I was like, can a teenager just beat Chucky up? But Chucky's so seductive, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're a child, a teenager, and we've seen him, what he does with adults as well too. But this is just such a fresh idea. And it's just, such a really, really exciting show. And it's tough because you got to wait every week, which is good. It's better than just being on Netflix and you can just binge watch everything. Every week, there's a new level of excitement.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I haven't even seen the 3rd episode actually, because we're still waiting for it to come out. Or no, it just aired last night. I haven't seen it. So yeah.
So one of the questions I always love asking the actors and the actresses, you know, what are some of the shows that you guys binge watch? And just curious, and again, it can't be Chucky, but like, what are some of the shows that you binge watch when you're not working?
Oh man. Oh, I mean, there's so many. There's so many. Okay, 2020, and I know you'll appreciate this, but like first year of lockdown, me and my partner went top to bottom. We spent a year working through Sopranos again. In fact, yes, yeah. Which was amazing. And we took like a few breaks here and there just to kind of whatever, but yeah, we made it through the full series. And my dog, in fact, my newish puppy, her name is Tony.
Oh, nice.
Namesake. So that was amazing. Right now it's the fourth season. So again, I'm waiting week to week, but I was catching up on What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
I haven't, but I've been hearing nothing but great things about it.
Yeah.
Man, great show.
Oh yeah. If you like Taika Waititi and his like style of humor and just his sensibility, it's incredible. It's very good. Yeah, what else? I don't know. I feel like we were off television for a while and moving on to movies. Saw a lot of great movies this year. Yeah. What are you watching other than Chucky?
To be honest, you know, Chucky is just consuming my I'm rewatching because there's always things that you miss, you know, when you first watch it, because especially when you're watching it live with the commercials. And what's exciting is YouTube is airing it, you know, just straight. And I have the premium account, so I can watch the show with no commercials. So
oh, nice.
So I'm binging through it. I selfishly, I'll admit, I probably rewatch Sopranos at least twice a year. So I just
like you do the full thing twice a year.
Oh yeah. And it's an anniversary thing always.
Oh my god!
Did you watch the Many Saints of Newark?
No, but that's my weekend plan actually.
Definitely, no, you'll love it. And you said you finished the show, right? Or did you say you're on season 4?
No. That was What We Do in the Shadows. But yes, I'm done Sopranos.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you have to watch the show. It's a treat for Sopranos fans. There's a lot of Easter eggs and callbacks. I just read also that David Chase, the creator, just got a 5-year deal with HBO, so they're going to make a prequel series on it too now.
I honestly feel like I was just waiting for that. I felt that. I think we all felt that coming, eh?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to pick your brain once you watch The Many Saints to see kind of what you thought.
Yeah.
I loved it. So no, excellent. And then I know earlier I touched on that you wear many hats, you know, actress, writer, director, producer, among many things. Mm-hmm. And sorry for not asking this earlier, but like what got you started into the business? Kind of what was your motivation?
Yeah. I mean, I've been acting for a long time. I started like as a kid in the Maritimes, and I went to school for it. I moved to the States for a while and studied in New York and spent some time living there, my favorite city in the world.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Yeah, so I've been doing that for a while, and then I moved to Toronto, and a couple of years after getting here, I was doing a lot of theater. It was, you know, my original sort of background. Doing a lot of rep theater, and I forget exactly how it came about, but I think it was like I don't know, I was in my early 20s and I was like frustrated with the industry and the audition process, and I was grumbling to one of my best buddies about it, and he was like, oh, you should just write something for yourself, or you know, you should write about this exact thing. And I was like, no. He was like, yeah, you should just do it. And he gave me a deadline, and off I went. And then we had a short film. And then I don't know, a couple beers in, he was like, and you should write it too. I was like, no, I don't think so. Yeah, you should. So there we had our first short film. And then, I discovered out of that actually that I love writing for film and TV. I'm a terrible playwright. I think that was like my first attempt, you know, it's a natural one, I think. And no, I just didn't jive with writing for the stage at all. So it was really nice to find sort of a kinship with writing for screen. And yeah, I wrote some series and other films, and I get hired to write on other people's stuff as well as story and script edit. So it's been great. It's like, it's a nice balance, you know. I find energetically I get very different things from being an actor and working with other people and out, and, you know, the hair and the makeup and the character. And then when I'm writing, I'm just, you know, in my PJs with my mug of coffee, like unshowered.
Yeah, I mean, I love writing as well too. I mean, this has kind of been my kind of directory on how to screenwrite, and yeah, I definitely have a passion for it as well. And I imagine, you know, during the lockdowns, kind of what I was hearing from a lot of folks I was interviewing, that, you know, there was a lot more time to write and be more creative. So did you get a chance to write anything during that lockdown time that we might see in the coming years?
Yeah, totally. It's funny, I think prior to lockdown, I was, you know, mostly actor and secondarily writer. And then that, at least in 2020, it flipped to where the bulk of my work that year was definitely, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a series that I worked on in its first season, and I wrote for its second season as well, called Avocado Toast. And they're shooting it right now, actually. So it will be coming out at some point in the new year. And a couple other Canadian series as well. And I'm working on my own feature, which I'm hoping to get funding to get made next year. We'll see. But you know what, I will say, I had like very grand aspirations at the beginning of lockdown. I was like, all this time cooped up at home, I'm gonna, so prolific. And then I kind of just like, I spent a couple months a little depressed and just like unable to use my brain beyond thinking about. So
no, yeah, definitely. I can definitely relate. Yeah, it's, you think you got all this time, and then, like, you know, 2 years has passed by, and it's amazing how fast it went by. I think this is the fastest, you know, year and a half, 2 years that I've ever experienced, and I've been hearing a lot of folks say that as well too. But at least you're able to get, you know, some creative work done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's, especially with writing, I think it for me anyway, it's about finding a balance of output and then sort of like the creative rest required, at least for my own process, to be able to, you know, gear up to do it again.
I definitely, if you're up to it, I definitely want to pick your brain down the road, maybe in another session, just on the writing process. I know there's a lot of actors and writers that actually watch the show, and I think it'd be awesome to kind of, you know, get the first world perspective from someone like yourself. And definitely want to bring you back after the finale of Chucky. That way we can talk a little bit more. But yeah, definitely. And again, instantly when I saw your character, I was like, man, I love her.
Thanks, man.
She's amazing. So you're doing an amazing job. You know, everyone's doing an awesome job. I mean, I was, again, TV show, I was like, man, how are they going to be able to keep the same power that they've had with the movies? And it's just as exciting, if not better. I never thought, you know, I watched all the way back from the first Chucky. I never thought that in 2021 we'd be getting a Chucky series with the same cast. You know, Dourif, Andy's coming back. This is so exciting, and I bet you're excited to be a part of it as well.
Yeah, I really am. I feel very grateful and fortunate to have joined that crew, for sure. It's been a treat. And yeah, thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you again, Annie. And yeah, definitely we'll stay in touch, and can't wait to see what's in store next week in the Chucky series. And thank you for joining MovieJunk.
Cheers, buddy.
Awesome. See ya.